Hello friends, welcome to our channel Grow Fresh. In this channel we post organic terrace garden related videos. Subscribe this channel and support us. Hibiscus propagation. How to propagate hibiscus. Propagating hibiscus, whether it's tropical hibiscus or hardy hibiscus, can be done in the home garden, and both varieties of hibiscus are propagated in the same way. Hardy hibiscus is easier to propagate than the tropical hibiscus, but never fear, with a little bit of knowledge about how to propagate hibiscus, you can be successful at growing either kind. Hibiscus propagation from hibiscus cuttings. Both hardy and tropical hibiscus are propagated from cuttings. Hibiscus cuttings are normally the preferred way of propagating hibiscus because a cutting will grow to be an exact copy of the parent plant. When using hibiscus cuttings to propagate hibiscus, start by taking the cutting. The cutting should be taken from new growth or softwood. Softwood has branches on the hibiscus that have not yet matured. Softwood will be pliable and often has a greenish cast. You will mostly find softwood on a hibiscus in spring or early summer. The hibiscus cutting should be 4 to 6 inches 10 to 15 centimeters long. Remove everything but the top set of leaves. Trim the bottom of the hibiscus cutting to be cut just below the bottom leaf node bump where the leaf was growing. Weed the bottom of the hibiscus cutting in rooting hormone. The next step for propagating hibiscus from cuttings is to place the hibiscus cutting in well-draining soil. A 50 to 50 mix of potting soil and perlite works well. Make sure the rooting soil is thoroughly wet, then stick a finger into the rooting soil. Place the hibiscus cutting into the hole and backfill it around the hibiscus cutting. Place a plastic bag over the cutting, making sure that the plastic does not touch the leaves. Place the hibiscus cutting in partial shade. Make sure the rooting soil stays damp, not wet, until the hibiscus cuttings are rooted. The cuttings should be rooted in about 8 weeks. Once they are rooted, you can repot them in a bigger pot. Be warned that tropical hibiscus will have a lower rate of success than hardy hibiscus, but if you start several cuttings of the tropical hibiscus, there is a good chance at least one will root successfully. Propagating hibiscus from hibiscus seeds. While both tropical hibiscus and hardy hibiscus can be propagated from hibiscus seeds, typically only hardy hibiscus is propagated this way. This is because the seeds will not grow true to the parent plant and will look different from the parent. To grow hibiscus seeds, start by nicking or sanding the seeds. This helps to get moisture into the seeds and improves germination. The hibiscus seeds can be nicked with a utility knife or sanded with a bit of fine-grained plain sandpaper. After you have done this, soak the seeds in water overnight. The next step in propagating hibiscus from seeds is to place the seeds in the soil. The seeds should be planted twice as deep as they are big. Since hibiscus seeds tend to be small, you can use the tip of a pen or toothpick to make the hole. Gently sprinkle or sift more soil over where you planted the hibiscus seeds. This is better than backfilling the holes because you will not inadvertently push the seeds deeper. Water the soil once the seeds are planted. You should see seedlings appear in 1 to 2 weeks, but it can take up to 4 weeks. Growing hibiscus is an easy way to add a tropical flair to your garden. When you know how to care for hibiscus plants, you will be rewarded with many years of lovely flowers. Let's look at some tips on how to care for hibiscus. Growing hibiscus in containers. Many people who are growing a hibiscus plant choose to do so in a container. This allows them to move the hibiscus plant to ideal locations, depending on the time of year. Provide the plants with at least 6 hours of sunlight, especially if you want to see those lovely blooms. Although warm, humid conditions are ideal for tropical hibiscus, you may want to provide a little afternoon shade when it's overly hot. Again, containers make this easy to do. Hibiscus plants prefer a cozy fit when growing in a container. This means that they should be slightly root-bound in the pot, and when you do decide to repot, give the hibiscus only a little bit more room. Always make sure that your growing hibiscus plant has excellent drainage. Temperatures for growing hibiscus. When you care for a hibiscus, you should remember that hibiscus flowers best in temperatures between 60 to 90 F 16 to 32 C and cannot tolerate temps below 32 F 0 C. In the summer, your hibiscus plant can go outside, but once the weather starts to get near freezing, it's time for you to bring your hibiscus indoors. Watering hibiscus. When hibiscus are in their blooming stage, they require large amounts of water. Your hibiscus will need daily watering in warm weather. But once the weather cools, your hibiscus needs far less water, and too much water can kill it. In the winter, water your hibiscus only when the soil is dry to the touch. A growing hibiscus plant needs lots of nutrients in order to bloom well. In the summer, use a high potassium fertilizer. You can either use a diluted liquid fertilizer once a week, a slow-release fertilizer once a month, or you can add a high potassium compost to the soil. In the winter, you don't need to fertilize at all. These are the basics for how to care for hibiscus plants in your garden. As you can see, they are a easy maintenance, high-impact flower that will make a garden in any part of the world look like a tropical paradise. While hibiscus flowers often grace us with beautiful blooms, these highly sensitive and temperamental plants sometimes fail to flourish. Either there are hibiscus blossoms falling off the plant or the hibiscus buds won't bloom. However, becoming familiar with the most common causes of hibiscus flower problems can make it easier to correct the issue. Dropping of blooms on hibiscus tree. One of the most common causes of hibiscus blossoms falling off plants is insect pests, particularly thrips. These tiny insects feed on hibiscus flower buds, causing them to fall off prior to blooming. Using an organic insecticide once a week as directed should help take care of the problem. Gold midge is another common pest affecting hibiscus flowers. This insect lays its eggs inside the buds, turning them yellow and eventually causing them to drop. These, too, must be controlled with an appropriate insecticide targeted at these pests. To find out if gall midge is to blame when hibiscus buds won't bloom, examine the fallen buds for signs of midge larvae by cutting or pulling them apart. It will also help to pick off any yellow buds and dispose of them promptly. Other insect pests that may cause the dropping of blooms on hibiscus trees include spider mites, mealybugs, aphids, whiteflies, hibiscus beetle. In addition to insecticidal sprays, placing yellow sticky traps, which they find attractive, near the plant may help catch and eliminate them. Other factors leading to hibiscus blossoms falling off plant. Hibiscus flower and bud drop can also be the result of a number of other factors such as nutritional deficiencies and environmental conditions. Bud drop on hibiscus flowers is oftentimes associated with an underlying issue that can be easily corrected. For instance, insufficient watering, excessive changes in temperature, and over-fertilizing can all trigger the dropping of blooms on hibiscus trees. Hibiscus flowers require lots of light, high humidity, and moist soil. They also need regular feeding with fertilizer as directed. The best way to keep hibiscus flowers healthy is to accommodate their needs and check the plants often for signs of problems. I think this video will be benefits for you. To get more information video subscribe my channel and share to your friends and support me. Thank you friends, happy gardening.